Good morning. It's Saturday, February 6, 2021. Thanks for joining us on the Good Morning Show. I'm adaure achumba. Good morning and thanks for joining us. I'm adaure achumba and welcome to the Good Morning Show. The all too ominous date of Friday the 13th is when we should get a sense of how many votes were cast in North Carolina's election. Now, by law, there is that 9-day window which allows for ballots postmarked by November 3rd to arrive. Yeah, the Brown Recreation Center is one of the more popular polling sites for early voters here in Guilford County. And earlier today, this parking lot was full with so many cars and the lines were long. Matter of fact, you can see it's still growing. It's been growing over the last hour. This is the garage here, but it's been turned into a receiving center for those returned ballots. Now you can see here, there are 2 lanes here. We're going to walk over here and kind of walk you through what is happening. The canvassing to make election results official here in Guilford County continues tonight. It started this morning at 11 o'clock. For nearly 30 hours, search crews have been launching from right behind me here, trying to find that missing teenager. Authorities say Cheyenne Sizemore has been missing since 1:30 p.m. Sunday afternoon. And we've got walls of police officers around us. We also see some of the protesters, more protesters going up that way where the sheriff's deputies are lined up. And still happening behind me over on that side, you see the other line of Greensboro police officers. Very short and simple expression there about why he's seated up there. Again, it's a silent protest here. The officers came and asked him those questions and they let him do his thing. He's not bothering anyone that we see. He's up there and they're keeping an eye on him here as he is seated up there with his water. All right, Julie, this is one of 2 COVID-19 testing sites run by the Guilford County Health Department. As you can see here with all those red tail lights, the line is backed up and it snakes around the block and well into the parking lot. A last-minute order Tuesday by a U.S. district judge in Washington, D.C. tried to force a search for all mail-in ballots at 27 USPS processing plants. Now, on Wednesday, though, the USPS said it couldn't deliver on that order. And here in the Triad, election mail isn't the only thing delayed. We're going to monitor this situation again. Tension still flared up. We're not going to leave this scene. A lot of stuff going on here. So we're going to stay here for you guys and bring you any details of what happens as we are out here in downtown Greensboro. Reporting live, adaure achumba, WFMY News 2. I am at the Beverly Hills United Church of Christ, the location for a community healing event. Community leaders are asking folks to come out here and talk about an event, about that video, the body cam video, which Burlington Police Chief made public today. That's right, guys. I am right here at the scene of the shooting, which is located across from the Little Rec Center, and behind me, investigators are still looking into that vehicle. Snow hasn't started accumulating on the highway, but over where I'm at, you can see there's grass here. You pack the snow a little bit together and make a nice stack. You can make a struggle snowman, even start a snowball fight. But here's a truck behind me. That truck is going to be leaving anytime soon, but they had to get a thumbs up to go start salting the roads. This is what Stonegate Drive here in Davidson County looks like after floodwaters from this creek overwhelmed the road and split it into 2. Now neighbors can't drive across. And all through the day as ice accumulated, power also went out for thousands of people here in the Triad. Fortunately, the damage hasn't been that much and the outages were not nearly as much as we saw during the first ice storm last Saturday. Now, right here in Guilford County at its peak, there was about 1,000 customers who were out of power. But in Forsyth County, we saw 8 times that amount, about 8,000 customers out of power. That's right, guys. I am right off of Wendover, and you can see the flakes are coming down. Earlier, I was telling my colleague, Jeff, that I wish the ground was actually dry so that we can get a little more of the sticking to the ground, but not on the road. But at least so that we can see some, enough accumulation to make maybe a snow angel or something. But look at what it's looking like here on the grass by the road. Just a little bit there to make a pretty picture that we finally have some kind of winter at last. But of course the roads are, wet and it's cold. So the standard advice, if you don't have to be out, stay home and avoid the roads or drive safely and carefully as you approach the roads this evening. Live in Greensboro, adaure Achumba, WFMY News 2. The former California Senator Kamala Harris took the oath of office Wednesday. She's the first female vice president in the nation's history, and she's inspiring other women like her.
The duties of the office upon which I am about to enter.
So help me God.
So help me God.
While Brittany Dennis's plans to travel to Washington, D.C. for the inauguration didn't pan out, she's joyful to witness history on TV.
I just feel like this is a win for so many. She is the catalyst of so many things and so many doors that have been shut. And it's just, I couldn't be more proud.
Harris is the first black woman and first person of South Asian descent to hold the vice presidency. She's also a member of Dennis's Alpha Kappa Alpha sorority.
Her story is so inspirational because it just feels like it's a redemption story. It feels like it's giving us hope. She represents so many great things to so many people.
She's excited her son is growing up to see people like him in places of power.
I'm so proud and I'm so excited, and I feel that I can lead one day too.
Dennis is also encouraged by President Biden's message of togetherness.
I feel like I finally have a voice. And after the last couple of 4 years, it feels good to at least know that you're going to be heard, and that seeing them knows that you too have a seat at the table.
In Greensboro, adaure Achumba, WFMY News 2.
Yeah, I put that very same question to folks here in downtown Greensboro, and I got the sense that many of them are already having that same conversation. Yes or no, should North Carolina return to phase 1?
No.
No, I don't believe so.
Yes.
Yes, I think so.
Well, that's a good question.
A question on the minds of many as North Carolina's COVID-19 cases continue to rise. Some say no because we need to get the economy going.
It seems like everyone is taking precautious measures to stay away from each other.
The restaurants right now are engaging in social distancing, and they're also cleaning like crazy.
For some, though, it's not an easy answer.
The numbers are still going up. My thing is individuals being safe.
So you're saying yes, no, maybe?
I'm saying there's a possibility.
I think they definitely are trending upwards, so I'd want to look at that a little bit more, but I'm definitely not in the no category. I'm not sure about yes, but I'd probably say maybe at this point.
Others say we need to go back to phase 1 and slow infection rates down.
Considering that there are continually more cases, I would say yes.
I think I read something last week that said that the zip code that I work in, 27405, is has the most cases in Greensboro.
At least one Greensboro business is scaling back to phase 1 mode.
I think it's something everybody should do. I mean, you know, getting through Memorial Day, we saw a spike, and now July 4th came through and things are increasing. I think everybody should just make that decision, but I'm not everybody.
And this is the tally of that impromptu street poll that I took. But you know what? It is not scientific, so I'm not going to go by that alone. However, I did speak to the head physician at Cone Health, and he tells me that we don't have COVID-19 under control here in North Carolina. And so in order to lower infection rates and keep them low, that we all need to do our part and make this a personal community project.
The U.S. Postal Service says it is experiencing an unprecedented increase in the amount of packages, as well as a limited availability of employees due to the impacts of COVID-19.
It does seem funny that I always seem to get my bills. They're never late.
Greensboro's Diane Williams says she can't do business because of package delays. She also says that's not the only problem with USPS mail lately.
I couldn't even begin to tell you how many times that I get someone else's mail. All the time.
Last week, we sent packages of our own. Packages to Texas and Georgia haven't arrived, but packages to Greensboro and Colfax showed up within 48 hours. But what about overseas mail?
I'm back at the post office, only this time I'm sending Christmas cards across the world to see how long it takes to arrive.
I sent cards to the UK, Uganda, Kenya, Nigeria, and Australia. I also sent one to Cambodia.
Postage stamps to each destination cost $1.20.
So our Christmas cards are stamped and ready to go, and every time I come to the post office, I always make sure I get a book of stamps.
And in the mailbox they go. Happy trails. With an expected arrival period of 10 to 15 days, coupled with the delays, getting there before Christmas Day is unlikely. For now, folks stateside say they have no choice but to keep tracking their packages.
Hopefully our voices are getting out there, so that chain that's going up is going to start hearing us.
In Greensboro, adaure achumba, WFMY News 2.
If it know anything, what happened to DK, I wish they would please come up and let them know.
That plea from Derek Kelly's grandmother. Kelly was shot and killed January 2nd, Greensboro's first homicide of the year. As his family tells WFMY News 2's adaure achumba, they are pleading for someone to please speak up so they can find some kind of closure.
I am so hurted. Before he died, he was here with me.
73-year-old Rachel Washington recalls the last moments she saw her grandson, 21-year-old Derek Kelly, alive. It was just the second day of the new year.
I wish I'd have told him that I love him. I hope I could have told him. It was something that when he came in the room, he said, Grandma, I'm hungry. And I had some food and I had just bought some barbecue ribs. So he ate before he left.
Kelly left to meet up with his friends.
And got ready to go out the door. And I tried to catch him. But he had already left. All I could say that I love, I want to tell him stay.
That night, police responded to a shooting on Shaw Street. They found Kelly injured and rushed him to a hospital. He died the next day.
I dropped everything. And I ran. Because I couldn't believe it. They gunned him down off his bike. He was just riding a dirt bike.
The culprit still on the run.
Whoever did this, I hope that justice will be served.
And Greensboro police tell me that this case is still active and the investigation is ongoing. There's also a Crime Stoppers reward of up to $2,000 for tips that lead to an arrest.
High Point police are not saying much about the Sunday afternoon shooting, but what we do know is that the people attending the funeral service were not regular parishioners at the Living Water Baptist Church on Brentwood Street.
Is anybody hurt?
Yeah, somebody hurt. Somebody down right now. I think he dead.
Is he at the, listen, is he at the church?
Huh?
Is he at the church?
Yes, ma'am, he dead. Right by the door.
A flood of 911 calls from witnesses.
The event that took place on yesterday happened at a memorial service that started around 2 o'clock. So our congregation was not involved or present.
High Point police say shots rang out from a car as mourners dispersed from Living Water Baptist Church on Brentwood Street.
My window is busted and I got a hole in my windshield where the bullet is lodged in the dashboard. Some of the bullets did hit his door and some bullets hit the window over here.
Police say one man was found dead at the scene from a gunshot wound, while some suffered minor injuries. Investigators search for evidence from the scene as neighbors assess damage to their property.
When it happened yesterday, I knew I couldn't go to work today, so I'm not at work and I should be at work. And due to this, it caused me not to be at work.
You hate to know that someone has died and others might have been injured, so it's tragic.
Police have not released any information about a possible suspect, the victim's identity, or a motive for the shooting. In High Point, adaure achumba, WFMY News 2.
If you know who might be responsible for this crime, report any information anonymously to Crime Stoppers. The number is 889-4000.
I know you have plans. Tell us all about it.
Food. I mean, that's the most important plan happens. What about you?
I don't have much in my refrigerator, so I'm thinking popcorn and later on maybe noodles.
You can't go wrong with that. Popcorn's always a good thing.
And that does it for the Good Morning Show this Saturday. CBS This Morning is up next at 7 a.m. I'm adaure Achumba. Thanks for joining us, and get out there and get to it.